Good morning. So this is Samya. Once again back to the class to teach you today about the structure of pollen grain. Okay, today we are going to learn about the structure of pollen grain. First of all, tell me what is pollen grain? What is pollen grain? Pollen grain is a powdery substance which we observe on the anther of a flower. I'll show you with the help of a diagram. Okay. So suppose if you take the male reproductive part of a flower, what is the male reproductive part of a flower? It is nothing but stamen. And here on this stamen you can observe a bilobal structure. Right? This is what a stamen. On this stamen you have filament. And this is a bilobed anther. On this anther, on the surface of this anther, right, we find the minute powdery substance, yellow color. And here it is, we find yellow colored powdery substance. Those are nothing but pollen grains. Okay, yeah, when we take a flower, suppose, see here I have collected the androecium of the flower. So this is what androecium, right? This is the androecium of the flower. Okay, these yellow colored stalk with the yellow colored anthers. Okay, so this is nothing but androecium of the hibiscus flower. When we take a flower and touch it with our fingers, touch it, right, we can feel powdery substance. When we touch it, we can feel powdery substance, that is nothing but pollen grain. So that powdery substance is the pollen grains. Okay, now can we observe the structure of this pollen grain? Yes. How can we observe? Just by following a small activity. What is that? So for that what we need to do? First we should take the flower, and also we should take a glass plate or directly a glass slide, and then onto this glass slide you have to transfer a drop of water. Okay, so you should take a glass slide. Onto the glass slide you should transfer a drop of water, and now take this water, androecium of the flower, take the flower directly and tap onto that slide. We have to tap onto the slide. So this yellow colored powdery substance, it is shed off and it falls on the drop of water. Yes or not? Yeah, it happens. Then with the help of it, we should take a cover slip and place it on this drop of water so that it should not spray out or it should not stick to the lens of the microscope. Okay, so that it should be safe there. Now we need to keep this slide under the microscope. We have to keep this slide under the microscope and we can observe it. Okay, in this manner we can observe the structure of pollen grain by a simple activity under the microscope. Right? What are the pollen grains? Once again, these are the male gametophytes. Pollen grains are called as a male gametophytes. Okay, today we are going to learn about the structure of this male gametophyte, which is nothing but the pollen grain, right? So we are going to learn about structure of pollen grain. Right. What are pollen grains? Pollen grains are nothing but the male gametophytes. Pollen grains are the male gametophytes. Okay. When we observe the pollen grain under the microscope, we can find it's different. The pollen grains are known to be of different sizes, shapes, and also colors. And also they have the external surface of the pollen grain. They have a variety of designs and also patterns. They are differently designed, external surface of the pollen grain. Understood? So when we observe the pollen grain which are collected from the flowers of different species, like either it may be a hibiscus flower and a jasmine flower and the flower of a watermelon plant, or what a pomegranate flower, bitter gourd flower, bottle gourd flower, likewise, and what coconut flower, mango flower, yeah, right. When we when we have a collection of different types of flowers, and we observe the pollen grains of these flowers under the microscope, we can see the pollen grain of the different species. They differ in their size, shapes, colors, and also their external surface. They are differently designed. They have a pattern of different patterns and also designs. Okay. Now, what is the structure? What is the size of this pollen grain? The size of pollen grain is 25 to 50 micrometers in diameter. Okay. It is a 25 to 50 micrometers in diameter. That much small it is. It is a microscopic structure. The male gametophyte is a microscopic structure. Its a size, it ranges from 25 to 50 micrometers in its diameter. Right? Now, when we observe its structure, it is lined with the two layers. The pollen grain, it has two external walls or the layers. What are those? The first one, it is outer layer. First one in the sense, outermost layer. It is called as an exine. It is called as an exine. And the inner layer, it is called as an intine. Okay. What is outermost layer? Exine. And innermost layer? Intine. Okay. Now let's learn about the nature and what is the function of this exine and the intine. Right. So how they are formed? What material is of they formed? Means when we take exine, it is formed of exine. Exine is the outermost layer of the pollen grain, and this is made of a sporopollenin. Sporopollenin. What is sporopollenin? It is an organic material, but it is highly resistant. It is very much resistant to what? To high temperatures. Resistant to high temperatures and also to acids and alkali. That means bases. Moreover, there is no enzyme so far known to be present which can digest this sporopollenin. It is not even digested by no enzyme can digest this sporopollenin. That much strong it is. It has that much of a strong. It is that much strong, and it is highly resistant even to the high temperatures and also to the acids and alkalis, and it is also resistant towards the enzymes. Understood? Because of this reason, the hard or the strong sporopollenin presence on the pollen grains. Pollen grains can be stored as fossils. They can be stored as fossils. So do you know what is it? Do you remember what is a fossil? Fossils are nothing but the ancient remains, the remains of the ancient plants and animals, right? Which are stored, which are preserved for their future studies. Such a structure is called as a fossil, right? So pollen grains also can be stored. In what cases these pollen grains can be stored? Suppose you have learned about the extinct species, endangered species, yes or not? Right. So, a plant which may be going to be extinct, which is at present in endangered list and may become extinct in the future time. So, the pollen of such plant may be collected and these are stored as fossils. The pollens are stored as fossils. Have you understood? So that for the future studies. Because of what? Because of this sporopollenin presence. The strong, tough material which is present in the outer layer of the exine, or outer layer, that is the exine of the pollen grain. Have you understood? Right. Next. And one thing here is, it is present, it encloses, it is present throughout the outer surface of the pollen grain, but except a minute prominent place where it is not seen, that is what called as a So this portion, right, where the sporopollenin is absent, it is called as a germ pore. A prominent aperture is seen. Okay, it is called as a germ pore. And you know what is the use of this germ pore? Why this sporopollenin is not occupying at a certain point on the outer surface of the pollen grain? There is a reason, strong reason behind this. Because to allow the pollen tube to come out, as it is a highly stable even to the enzymes also, it can't be digested even by the any of the enzymes. So that's why already it has left a gap to allow the pollen tube to come out of the pollen grain during germination. During fertilization, to facilitate the process of fertilization, pollen tube has to come out, which is called as germination of pollen grain, right? So for the pollen tube to come out during the germination of this pollen grain, the minute aperture is left. It is called as the germ pore, through which pollen tube comes out of the pollen grain along with the two male nuclei. Understood? Right. So, what you have learned? Pollen grain, it is surrounded by two layers. Outermost layer is called as an exine and it is made up of sporopollenin. Sporopollenin, an organic material which is highly resistant to high temperatures, acids and alkali, and also it is resistant to the enzymes. No enzyme so far has been found that it can digest the sporopollenin. Understood? Because of this sporopollenin itself, pollen grains are able, we are able to store the pollen grains. We are able to preserve the pollen grains in the form of fossils. Right. Now, next we go to the second layer. What is the second layer surrounding the pollen grain? It is nothing but intine. Intine, it is not that much hard or tough. It is a soft and also it is a thin layer. Intine is a thin layer. It is a thin but continuous layer. Means it do not allow any germ pore or anything. It is present continuously, which encloses within the intine plasma membrane is present. Okay. Inner to this is intine, and inner to this intine plasma membrane is present, and this plasma membrane encloses the cytoplasm. Okay. Plasma membrane is present, and it encloses the cytoplasm. And this is what cytoplasm. Okay, within this cytoplasm, pollen grain, it contains a lot of dense cytoplasm, right? And within this cytoplasm, we can find two types of cells are present within the pollen grain. Two types of cells are found, right? And what are the two cells? What are the two cells within the pollen grain? Right? It contains a pollen grain. Pollen grain, it has two types of cells. Those are vegetative cells and generative cell. Pollen grain has two types of cells, vegetative cell and generative cell. Vegetative cell, what is it meant for and what is its structure? Right? Vegetative cell is a bigger in size. It is a bigger cell inside the pollen grain, and it is filled with the dense cytoplasm, and also it has an irregular nucleus. It has an irregular nucleus. It contains stored food. The vegetative food still contains stored or preserved food. Okay, it contains a lot of food material, right? And now the second one is the generative cell. Generative cell is a small cell and it is a spindle-shaped cell which is found to be floating within the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. It is found to be present floating in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. Okay. Now, in most of the plants, nearly 60% of the plants, 60% of the plant species, the pollen grains they shed off. As they mature, they shed off and they have to reach to the stigma. Yes or no? They shed off from the anther to reach to the stigma to further facilitate the process of fertilization. So, in 60% of the plant species, the pollen grains will shed off only in this two cell stage. In this two cell stage, they shed off and they try to reach to the stigma. Whereas in the remaining 40% of the plant species, 40% of the different plant species, what happens? Certain changes takes place in this generative cell. In this generative cell, it undergoes the division. It undergoes, so when we talk about this generative cell, it is a small spindle shaped cell. It also contains dense cytoplasm and a nucleus. Okay, this cell, it undergoes a division, that is a mitosis division. It undergoes mitotical division and it forms as what? Two male gametes. It gives rise to two male gametes. Okay, so that means in 40% of the plant species, right, the pollen grain they shed off during these three cell stage. Now, one vegetative cell, the two generative cells. Three cells are present inside the pollen grain. With this three cell stage, they shed off from the anther and they try to reach to the stigma. Have you understood? So this is about the structure, internal structure of the pollen grain. Pollen grain surrounded by two layers. Outer layer is called as the exine, inner layer is called as the intine. Exine, which is made up of a strong substance, organic material called as the sporopollenin, right? And this sporopollenin is highly resistant to high temperatures, strong acids and bases, and also it is resistant towards the enzymes. And till now, no enzyme has been known to be present which can digest this sporopollenin. And because of this reason, they can be stored as a fossils even. The pollen grains can be stored as a fossils for the future studies. Right? Next, talking about the intine, it is a thin and continuous layer which is made up of what? It is made up of cellulose and pectin. So, intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. Okay. Next, inside this pollen grain, it contains two types of cells, vegetative cell and generative cell. Vegetative cell, it preserves the food material, it is larger in its size, bigger in size, and it contains an irregular nucleus. It contains irregular nucleus, it is meant for preserving the food material. Okay, next, the generative cell, it is a small cell, spindle shaped cell, and found to be floating in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell, right? Now, in most of the plant species, the pollen grains they shed off during this two cell stage. During this two cell stage, the pollen grain sheds off. Whereas in some of 40% of the plant species, right? Certain further changes takes place in the generative cell. That is nothing but the generative cell, it divides mitotically and it gives rise to two male gametes. It forms two male gametes. Okay. Now the pollen grain is with the three cells. It is called as a three cell stage. During this three cell stage, it sheds off from the anthers. It sheds off from the anther and it finds to reach to the stigma. Understood? Right. Now let's talk about some effects of the pollen grain. Right? It is known that the pollen grain are able to cause allergies in humans. That's why we should not go and smell all the flowers. Why? Because some species of the flowers, they are allergic to us. It causes, if the pollen enters into the body of a human, it causes diseases related to the respiratory system. Like, what are the respiratory diseases? Majorly, those are asthma. It causes respiratory diseases like asthma, bronchitis, and also chronic respiratory diseases. Okay, chronic respiratory diseases also occur due to the pollen allergy. That's why we should not smell all the flowers. Okay, we should not smell the flowers because the pollen which is present, and sometimes the pollen also transferred through the wind, as these are very light in weight. Okay, they may transfer, and when they reach to us, when we inhale such air which is contaminated with the pollen grains, it also it leads to the respiratory diseases like asthma and bronchitis, etc. And it is known as a plant, you may have heard about this plant which causes pollen allergy, that is Parthenium. Parthenium is the plant which causes the pollen allergy, and it is known that this plant has reached from other countries to our India as a contaminant along with some wheat variety. When a wheat variety is being imported from other countries to our India, our country, so as a contaminant through that plant, this has been transferred and it has ubiquitously spread all over the places. We find it growing in all the places. It has spread all over and it easily causes a pollen allergy. Okay, that's why we should be careful with the pollen, because we are not going to face not ready to face this respiratory diseases, so we have to be stay away from the beautiful part of the plant, that is a flower, because of this. But in some species, not in all the species. Okay, alright. Next, coming to the nutritional value of the pollen grain. See, this pollen grain, it has a nutritional value. Even they are rich with the nutrients. Pollen are rich with the nutrients. It has a high nutritional value. That's why in Western countries, the pollen, it is consumed as a pollen tablets and also pollen syrup. Okay, in Western but not in our India. At present not yet, maybe in future. It has become a fashion in the Western countries to consume the pollen as it is rich with the nutrients. It has a high amount of nutrients. That's why it is known that they are even consuming this pollen in the form of tablets, pollen tablets and syrups. And moreover, it is found that the consumption of this pollen tablet and syrup by the athletes, it has been shown that it increases the performance of athletes and also the race horses. Athletes, you know, so the athletes and race horses, they are consuming these pollen tubes to increase their ability of their performance. Understood? So pollen also has a good means that they are using for a good purpose, as in the form of food supplements. Even the pollen are also having bad effects, like they causes respiratory diseases. Okay, now the question arises, what is the time period that a pollen stays alive when it is shed off from the pollen grain? How many minutes, how many hours, or how many months it stays alive? Staying alive, capable of germinating on the stigma. It is called as its viability. We call it as its viability. Okay. For how much of time period the pollen are viable, right? Once this pollen grain is shed off, once the pollen grain shed off from the anther of the plant, right? We can't assure that it directly goes and sit on the stigma. Yes or no? It may fall on the ground. It may stay in the air. Whatever. It may fall on the soil. Or it may stick to the body parts of the other animals. And it may remain stick to the body parts of the other animals for a long time. So, what is the viability period? What is the time period for which till what the pollen grains are going to be alive or they are able to germinate? Is, if you look at that, in some species like cereals, like rice and wheat, in rice and wheat, they are viable for 30 minutes. They are viable, they have the potency to germinate till 30 minutes and later on they cannot. So this viability, it varies from species to species. It varies from species to species. The viability of the pollen grain, its ability to germinate and perform the fertilization process, it varies from species to species. In case of rice and wheat, it has 30 minutes of viability, whereas in case of some other species, it may stay long, means the viability, it lasts for a long period, that is for months. Understood? Yeah. Next. So for this reason, see here, the pollens as its viability is different in different species of the plants. Nowadays, as like you might have heard in human reproduction, the semen is collected and it is preserved for the artificial insemination process. Yes or not? So likewise, pollen are also collected from the different plants and they are also stored. Pollen are also collected from the plants and they are stored. How they store? They store the pollen in liquid nitrogen. They store the pollen in a liquid nitrogen at 192 degrees centigrade. Minus 196 degrees centigrade. Okay, they store the pollen in liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees centigrade. As these are called as the pollen banks. As like you might have heard about the seed banks for the crop production and so semen storage for the artificial insemination. So likewise, pollen are also stored for the future in a pollen banks. Okay, this is about the structure of a pollen. What is a pollen? It is a male gametophyte. Pollen is nothing but the male gametophyte which is present in the androecium of the plant. Okay, the pollen is present as an yellow colored powdery substance attached to the anther of the stamen. Okay, so we can easily observe this under the microscope even. And when we observe its structure under the microscope, we can find that it is the pollen of different flowers of different species. They vary in their size, shape and also colors, and also they differ in their outer patterns or designs. Okay, and whatever the pollen it is of any species, it is lined with the two layers. Outer layer is called as exine and inner layer is called as intine. Exine is formed of sporopollen and intine is formed of cellulose and pectin. And on this exine we can find a prominent aperture. It is called as a germ pore, which facilitates the pollen tube to come out during the pollen germination on the stigma. Okay, next, when we observe its inner structure, it is found to be containing two types of cells. Those are nothing but the vegetative cell and the generative cell. Vegetative cell, it is bigger in its size, whereas generative cell is small in size. And vegetative cell, it is loaded with lot of dense cytoplasm. It has an irregular nucleus. It contains lot of preserved food material in it. Whereas generative cell, it is a small spindle shaped cell. Okay, this is about the two types of the cells present. And most of the pollens of a different species, like nearly 60% of the plant species, they shed their pollen during this two cell stage. Whereas in the remaining species of plants, what happens? Further development takes place, further changes takes place in the pollen, where the generative cell, it divides mitotically into two male gametes. And during this 3 cell stage, it sheds off and try to reach the stigma for fertilization. Understood? Right. Next, coming to this pollen. Do pollen causes any effect to the humans? Yes, it causes allergic problems like asthma and bronchitis, and also chronic respiratory diseases also may occur. That's why we should be careful with the flowers. Okay. Next, even the pollen, they are highly nutritious. So in most of the western countries, pollen, they are consumed in the food. Through the food supplements, they are being consumed as it is having nutritional value. Okay, in the form of tablets and syrups, they are being used. And this has the consumption of these pollen tablets and syrups are being shown better performance in the athletes and also in race horses. Have you seen that game? Race horses? Yeah. Right. Next is viability. Coming to the viability of the pollen, as these are the cells, right? These are also a type of the cell. They also may have their lifespan. What time do they stay alive? Till what time are they capable of germination? When we observe that its viability, it varies from species to species. The viability of the pollen grains, it varies from species to species. In some species, like in cereals like rice and wheat, they are viable for 30 minutes. And later on they lost their viability. And whereas in some other species, In some other families like Rosaceae, Solanaceae, Leguminosae. You know what is a Leguminosae plants? All the pulses and the groundnut plant. Okay, the pollen of these plants and also in Rosaceae and Solanaceae, right? They have viability for months. They can stay alive for months and they have the ability to germinate even for months. Okay, right. So that is about its viability. As they are less viable in some species, they can be stored. Pollen are also stored as like the semen of a human or the seeds. Seeds are also stored, right? We are storing seeds in the seed banks. Likewise, pollen are also stored. How do they store in pollen banks? In pollen banks, they are stored in liquid nitrogen. They store it in a liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees centigrade. Okay, this is about the structure pollen grain. Which is a microsporangium. It is a microsporangium or the male gametophyte. Microspore. It is also called as a microspore or the microsporangium. Okay. Microspore or the male gametophyte. Right? It's about the pollen grains. Thank you.